Okay. Hello, everybody. Can you hear me all right? Can you hear Ben?
Yes, we are live. Can you hear me loud and clear?
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear. Let me just turn the monitor up a bit more. Okay.
All right.
If you're watching us live, please do let us know how the audio sounds, what the level's like. To me, it looks like it's
Yes.
quite equal. What does it sound to you, Ben?
Yeah, you sound good to me. We're stoked to be here. Man, it's gonna be a good day, good stream. It's been a while since Lauri and I have done this, so it's gonna be a fun time.
Yeah, someone's saying there's some popping in the audio. Do you hear that as well, Ben?
I don't hear anything on my end.
Okay, so that is interesting.
Yeah.
Because I can hear some popping on my monitoring of this.
Okay.
Some people are saying it's popping there, but Ben is saying he can't hear any of the popping, so that's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so basically, I'm super excited about this. Make laptops great again. Ben, you are from the US. Congratulations on your new
Yes.
president. I can
Thank
see
you.
the
Thank
flag
you.
behind you. I think it's a great day, and
Yeah.
we're gonna be looking at some of the laptops, that I have chosen, Ben has chosen. So there's gonna be a little bit of a kind of a duel going on here. Okay, I've actually
Yeah.
prepared a scoreboard as well. Can you see that? Boom, we've got a scoreboard. Oh man, I've got to change this. Um, Wait a second, because we've got Ben on the wrong side. So let
It's
me
not
actually.
the scoreboard has not come up yet, just FYI.
Okay, wait a second. I can see the scoreboard. Can anyone? Can you see it now?
There it is. There it is.
Boom. Okay.
Yep.
I just have to change.
No worries. You get to that. What we're looking to do
There you
today in
go.
this video is just compare a lot of ideas and notes between Lauri and myself, Lauri at Tech Notice. And Lauri is somebody who's come from more of a background in the PC building, and he's recently really ramped up his laptop and tablet PC vibes on his channel. And I've been strictly laptops with a peppering of desktop systems. And so my idea of with our idea coming together of making laptops great again is laptops went through this really weird phase. I would say from about 2021 to now, where it was like
Yeah.
this kind of plateau of performance, this plateau of efficiency. And now we're seeing companies attempting to make a turnaround, similar to what we're excited to be looking at with the results of
Mm-hmm.
last night. And so that was the idea of make laptops great again. Is like we're seeing the plateau start to pick up, and we're seeing laptops really stepping up to the bar and becoming great machines. And so we want to answer your questions and just hang out, argue a bit about what's the great laptop coming and what are the great laptops that are out right now. So
Yeah. So this is how this is gonna go. And by the way, if you didn't know, there's gonna be you in the audience. You can interact with us, and actually, you are the ones who decide who gets the point of each round. Okay. So there's gonna be a few rounds of laptops, different budgets that we're gonna be going backwards and forwards with Ben. We'd love to hear your interactions. By the way, this is live also on Ben's channel, and if you're watching on Facebook or from somewhere else, then feel free to comment. I should be pulling in comments from my side and from the Facebook side. Someone is saying Mulga. Yes, that's it. MLGA. Make laptops great again. There we go. Is there anyone watching from the US? Let us know where you're watching this from. But this is going to be great because exactly what Ben said. I haven't been so familiar with laptops. I've been doing a little bit more laptops recently, but I think I've got a little bit of a different opinion of the laptops. Obviously, I don't know as much, so I think I'm gonna lose anyway this. But I'm just curious where Ben is coming from, where I'm coming from, and we're gonna go backwards and forwards a little bit why we chose each laptop for each category. So
yep.
before we're gonna start, there's a little sponsored segment. They're gonna be looking. Let's see if that's gonna work now. The video is brought to you by Thermal Grizzly. Improve your CPU and GPU cooling with their Cryonaut thermal pastes, or the Cryonaut Extreme for the extreme overclockers. If you're on the Intel LGA 1700 platform, check out their contact frame that prevents CPU bending. And for the curious PC enthusiast, you might want to check out the WireView Pro. For all your high performance cooling solutions, check out Thermal Grizzly in the video description below. Alrighty. Well, there we go. Video description below. There's a little link for the sponsor. By the way, everything that we're talking about here will be linked in the description below if you want to pick anything up,
Yep.
whether you're watching on Ben's channel or on my channel. The links will be there. We'd appreciate if you use those links. It comes to you at no extra cost to you, but it helps the helpful content coming your way on this channel. Right, Ben, your sub $700 laptop, what is it, and what would you say why this is that one? So do you want to send me the link on Slack and I'll pull that one up, or how do we do this? Is this the best way?
Yeah, so I'll just say like my favorite sub 700 is gonna be like the ZenBook series from Asus. You can find them on Best Buy, so that's really the easiest place to find it. And there's gonna be like the Ryzen 7 5800U, I think. And so basically that's going to be something that provides you with an OLED display. And sometimes they come in a little above 700, but a lot of times Best Buy has them on a sale. And so what I often look for is I look for laptops that are priced at a spot that's a little bit more expensive than your budget, but then they go on sale and then they're in your budget. So that's why like this is a great season to be looking for a device, because you're going to have a ton of laptops going on sale. And the ZenBooks really offer a great performance and quality display option. And specifically, we're talking about creatives, professionals. And so if you're somebody who's like,
do you have a particular like actual link for this, so I can show them like which one this is? Yeah. If you send me them, then I can show them this as well. By the way, there's a poll going on right now on YouTube on Tech Notice 1. So if you agree, me or Ben, I haven't shared my opinion yet. I want to hear more about Ben. I wanna show you this as well as we're going live. I'm gonna pull this up and then you can see it. But there's a poll. Vote either TN or Ben, and then we'll see whoever wins is gonna actually get a point for this. I'm gonna take the scoreboard. Well, I'll leave the scoreboard on so you know what's going on there. So have you got the link?
Not yet. You introduce your favorite right now.
Okay.
And I would also say like the HP Victus for a gaming laptop would be a huge pick.
HP Victus, right. So this is sub for $700, right? So yeah. I'm a little bit of a I want to know what you think about my option, okay? So sub 700, and I'm going a little bit of a different direction here, okay? So check this out. What I have here is an Apple MacBook Air M2. I know this is 8 gigabytes of RAM, 256 gigabytes, but
right here, baby.
Right now, if you apply this $49 coupon on Amazon, you can get it literally $6.99. And so I've spent every penny on this, and I believe this is actually new. Yeah, this is new as well. I thought this was refurbished at first, but you can get a new MacBook Air, and the M2 chip is absolutely amazing. I think your MacBook Air is M2 chip, Ben, is it?
Correct. I have the 15-inch, 8 gig, 512.
Okay.
And I can edit. I've talked about this. I can edit 6K footage on this thing on the go. I usually get about 5 to 6 hours of battery life editing 6K, exporting. It's not a beast, necessarily, but my goodness, is it an efficient powerhouse on the go. It's insane. It's absolutely insane.
Okay. So what I can see is Ben's right now on Best Buy is going for it's as you can see
that's
here, $5.99. Okay, so this is the
Lenovo Yoga. This is the two I really like when you can find them on sale are the ZenBook OLED and the Lenovo Yoga. These two offer just a really great bang for buck.
So this is touchscreen and 2-in-1 as well, is it? It looks like
and it's 2K.
Wow.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay. Have you tested that? I guess you have. You've probably tested this one, and
yeah, it's somewhere in the studio right now. I don't have. Whoa, almost fell. I don't have it in my stack. But yeah, this one I just tested. I did this a full review of this laptop about a month ago and went through like all the different intricacies of it.
And how do you feel it performed in video and photo editing? I guess it's probably better at photo than video because it doesn't have dedicated GPU.
Yeah, so the thing with that one is like what you run into they have the Intel Core Ultra version and then this is the Ryzen version. And they always teeter like which one's on sale. So what you're going to see from this laptop is in the Intel Core Ultra version, which this is the Ryzen one that TechNotice has pulled up. In the Intel Core Ultra version, it way outperforms other laptops, even of better CPUs. So what my biggest praise for Lenovo is that any laptop that they develop always pushes the components to the higher level. So you could have two laptops, one from Lenovo, one from a competing brand, and almost hands down every time, the Lenovo is going to perform better. They just allow their computers more headroom for performance. They're a little bit less concerned with the thermal limitations, but that doesn't mean that their computers necessarily get too hot. They just have really engineered their laptops very well to push the components to their maximum ability.
Yeah. So as you can see, we've got them side by side here now. The MacBook Air and the Lenovo Yoga. I've just been using the MacBooks, and the MacBooks have been really nice in terms of the overall usability. Now, probably pure CPU performance, the Yoga's gonna smoke it, I'm guessing. Ben, you can confirm if I'm right or wrong. I don't know. Would you say this is right?
So I would say in regards to this head-to-head, I would say that the Apple MacBook Air would be a better all-arounder.
Okay.
And what I mean by that is like you're going to get more performance in more categories with the MacBook Air. However, if you're looking to save a little bit of money, if you're looking for more storage and a higher resolution display as well as touchscreen, then you're going to get more bang for buck out of the Lenovo Yoga as far as just the all-around experience. However, you're going to get a little bit more performance and better battery life and on-the-go friendliness from the MacBook Air. So it's what you're looking for.
The Yoga has 1 terabyte SSD, whereas the M2 has only 256. So you're instantly gonna have to start looking for that. And do you know if the Yoga has upgradable RAM there, or
looking right now, it does not. Nope.
Okay, because it's probably going to be fast then, but it's still double than what Apple has.
And with that device, you're looking at about 9 hours of battery life max for like streaming video or productivity. So it's pretty solid. But again, you're going to get better battery life while doing more high intensive tasks on the MacBook Air.
Okay, so what do you think, Ben? Which one would you choose out of these two? Right, you're gonna have to pick $700. Like if you're watching us right now as well, he's showing us his laptop. Okay, he's picking a MacBook, so he's going back.
I honestly would, unless I needed a pen compatibility, because that is a benefit, right? So the Yoga, you can use the pen and draw and stuff. I don't need that. But if I did, I would go Yoga. But I'm such a fan of the simplicity of the Mac Apple ecosystem that I would go for that. I did go for that. I paid for this laptop.
Yeah, I paid for mine as well, but mine's a little different. Oh, actually, I've got it.
Yeah,
I've got one of these. Let me see if.
And again, this is in the context of that we both use desktop systems for like our main editing and workflow systems on the day-to-day.
Yeah.
Like I use this when I'm running out of the office or I'm working downstairs or whatever. But when I'm editing, when I'm like running my full daily workflow, I've got 3 monitors, a desktop system, like a full gaming keyboard with like hubs. My camera's running through my desktop system right now to stream with Lauri. Like that's the thing, is context is everything when it comes to laptops. I only need this like lighter performance because I want on-the-go friendliness, thin and light.
Yeah.
Good battery life. So
no, I would say the same, but why I chose this one is I've always recommended the M1 MacBook Airs, the old ones that still have the Intel, chassis, the old chassis, and this has always been like $699, but now because of this M2 and because M4 actually came out, I want to know in a minute what you think about the M4. But because of that, now this has become basically a history. This doesn't do anything the M1 anymore, even though it's still amazing. Like picking this up, this is like 4 years old, I think.
Oh,
and
it's
I
still
bought this,
amazing.
The way it feels in your hand does not make sense like 4 years ago. So now because the M2 was upgraded, I went with the M2 and thought, okay, I think this is probably a good option for creators. Now, for video editing, I think it's going to be okay when what I've tested, I'm testing the Mac Minis right now. I'm putting them through its paces because new Macs are coming out, so I'm retesting them. But the M2 is like, okay, it's not like if you're thinking about doing massive color grading, very heavy video editing, massive resolution, lots of layers, it's probably not going to be that. But at this price point,
yes,
overall, I think I'm going with M2. Okay, let's see who's winning. I think Ben is winning. Ben is winning 80%. People like gaming a little bit more.
Do you have a live vote going?
Yeah. I've got a poll on mine, so
I'll start a
you
poll.
can see.
Here we go. I'll start one on mine.
So for sub 700, Ben is winning. So, you know, we got to give the score to Ben. Sub 700. Oh, okay.
I didn't start a poll. I got to post my poll. Here we
Okay,
go. We'll see what everybody says. All right, jump on that poll. If you're watching on my channel, I forgot to throw that poll up. So far, MacBook Air at 100% for you. I'm going to throw a curveball at you.
Really?
Now we're down to 50%.
So how is this going to work?
We'll give it a minute.
People on your channel are liking my choices, and people on my channel are liking your choices. What's going on? How is this going? How is this happening?
50-50 up. Yep, you keep jumping up. All right, we'll give that a minute to come in.
If you are watching this live or just tuning in, we're going to be going through some different categories. I'm going to make a very interesting announcement here as well. I have actually purchased a few MacBooks M4s. If anyone is interested and wondering how do these perform. This is a little screenshot on the post on my channel. I said I might have to close my channel down. We might not do PC stuff anymore if the benchmarks are as good as we can see in there. It's pretty insane. So I walked out the business credit card and they're going on there. We'll see what happens. One of these, so this guy over here, that's coming a bit later. That is maxed out M4 Max. So this is 128 gigabytes of M4 Max. I didn't max out the storage because I thought that's ridiculous. No one.
That's just dumb. So what was that? Like 6 or 7 grand USD?
So what is it again? Sorry.
That's
Apple.
Crazy. So far, I'm winning on my channel too at 64%, 67% for the Lenovo Yoga.
Okay, people don't like it.
I'm surprised. Yeah, okay. So I won that.
Sorry, wrong. Okay, Ben's got 1 point. Off we go.
All right. Okay, I'm going to answer some questions here while you're looking that up. So somebody asked, and then we'll move on to the next category.
Yeah.
I'm going to end that poll. We'll do another one in a few minutes. All right, somebody asked, what about ARM-based laptops? So my current stance on ARM-based laptops is that they needed to be produced in order for the applications to get launched. So think about Mac OS think about Apple launching M1. What was it? Gosh, 4 or 5 years ago now. And when they launched, they knew that they would have to put it out first before all of the application providers like Adobe or Affinity or whatever launch the apps, right? They're not going to start creating applications without devices. So they have to launch the device before the apps are ready. And currently, all of the ARM-based Windows chips are running a majority of applications through an emulation.
Yeah.
So the performance turnout we're seeing is minimal compared to the performance turnout we'll see once native applications come out. So with that in mind, if you buy now, you're buying for future performance. Now, if you look at, say, like Photoshop or just like streaming video online or like just using your computer as like a productivity device, they're a no-brainer. They have amazing performance. They have really, really great battery life and efficiency. And their price point is actually is reasonable. It's not good, but it's reasonable. Now, where you're going to run into issues most is if you're a video editor or you're a motion designer or you're a 3D modeling person. The devices have not come out mainstream enough, and the applications have not come out in a way where that device meets performance standards. Because A, you're not going to see many devices with dedicated GPUs right now. You're not going to see an ARM with a dedicated GPU. I don't know if there's any that exist right now, honestly. But anyway, my recommendation is if you're an early adopter, make sure you're an early adopter for either using it for productivity or like art and design. Not video editing, not 3D modeling, not motion design. For example, the Microsoft Surface Pro, this device gets awesome performance in, say, Photoshop, but it has a 23-minute 4K export time in Premiere Pro, which is garbage because it's running through an emulation, right? This device, somebody asked, will this Surface come out with Lunar Lake? I hope it does, because that would be a better choice at this moment.
Yeah.
So if this device comes out with Lunar Lake, you're most likely going to see for a 4-minute export time, roughly. Actually, I just tested a Dell XPS. Let me check what the export time was from the Dell XPS.
No, I want to second that on Ben as well. So I've been testing this Asus ProAd PZ13, which is running the Qualcomm ARM as well. And I've had exactly the same experience where the battery life is great. And if you're just doing browser, because obviously that's already supported, you know, Google Chrome. And if you're doing just typing in battery life, it's amazing. But where you go into Photoshop and, you know, video editing, it's just absolutely falls off the top of the earth, you know. It's just not
and
there.
Photoshop, I'm going to argue with you on that. Photoshop is not bad, but it's not amazing. Yeah. So like with Photoshop, it's like it does it pretty well. I'll pull up my Photoshop from the Microsoft Surface Pro, and for Photoshop, it's scoring a 6,149. This device right here, Microsoft Surface Pro X Snapdragon X Plus. That's a solid score. But again, it's video editing. So let's talk about the new Lunar Lake in the Dell XPS 13, and that's an underperforming device because Dell always throttles their devices because they value thermal limitation and cool laptops more than they value performance. And this device got a 4-minute and 47-second export time. That's the Dell XPS 13 with the latest Intel Core Ultra 256V. Compare that to the Snapdragon X Plus, which got a 23-minute and 3-second export time for that same clip. So like wildly better performance out of Lunar Lake because of Qualcomm ARM-based chip running through an emulation.
Yeah, no, that's great. I think the longer I leave this poll, Ben, you're just gonna win even more. So Ben definitely won the first round. Now,
all right.
There is the second round, which is sub $1,000 laptop. What have you got?
Okay, do you want to do this in like productivity versus like dedicated GPU?
Just anything. We're saying creator laptops sub $1,000. If you have two choices, you know, give me two choices. If you have one choice, just, you know, drop some across, and then we can share these.
Okay, so if I'm thinking like a sub $1,000 laptop, I'm wanting really good color gamut range. I'm wanting some like flexibility. I'm thinking like thin and light. And so for me, a device. Let me see. Let me look at this one real quick. I don't even know if this is sub 1,000. This might be an issue. Yeah, this is. Okay, well, let's see. Am I right? Am I wrong? Let's see. Oh, hold on. No, thanks. Get out of my face. All right. Oh, nope. It didn't make it. The device I wanted didn't make it. Crap. All right, I got to keep looking. What is yours? Will you pull yours up while you're thinking?
So I'm going to show you what mine is.
Okay.
And I'm going to get this comment up there as well, because that is a very good comment, if you can see. I do believe as well that there's a lot of laptops that are made like kind of trash. I've seen a lot of laptops that are from random companies, overpriced, ridiculous ones where they find some AMD or Intel like refurbished chips and they just think they can make a laptop as well, but it's like a horrible experience.
Yes.
But then there's some like a point of a laptop where I think something is amazing. So one of the things here, what I'm showing you, is actually a laptop that I didn't really know existed until I spoke with Sasha at IFA in Berlin. So Sasha is one of ASUS's, is it head of marketing, or he's like
he's like
the head of
developmental.
Yeah, the head of ASUS, and I'm not exactly sure what his title is. And I'd love to have him on the channel as well and talk to him a little bit. But when I was there, I had a chance to talk to him, and I was like curious, okay, like which laptop do you use and which laptop do you like using? And he was like, I love to use these ASUS tough laptops. And I was like, I didn't really know that there was really such thing until I looked into it. And what I have here is, I think, pretty amazing combination. And I'd love to know your opinion on this, Ben, what you think. So basically, this is a 15-inch laptop. It's 15-inch full HD screen, 144 hertz. There's, probably not a very good color accurate, but it's 100% sRGB, so color space is all right. We've got a dedicated RTX 4060, which is, pretty powerful. We've got Ryzen 7 7735HS, which is not the Zen 4, but Zen 3 architecture, but still pretty good. 16 gigs of DDR5, which can be upgraded. 1 terabyte SSD. I think overall, you're getting pretty powerful bang for buck for $1,000. Now, and it's a little bit cheating because it's 49 over $1,000, but I'm hoping that when you're shopping around, you can find this on a deal, or this would be a little bit cheaper. But for that amount, this is pretty insane. I would have thought when I got my Dell Inspiron 16 Plus, that was around $1,000 as well. It had Intel Ultra 7 155H with the same GPU, but I think tell me, Ben, if I'm wrong, but I think the Ryzen is better on battery life.
Then Ryzen's gonna be better on battery life than Intel H series all day.
Yeah.
Especially when you get into the HS series processors, no doubt.
Yeah. Okay. So is this the one you sent across from Best Buy? Your option?
So that is my creator laptop. And when I say creator, I usually mean like graphic design, digital art, photography. That's gonna be my top pick for that. This RAM is upgradable. So if you would go ahead and get the Ryzen version, you could go ahead and upgrade that RAM. Now, you'll have to do your own research on this when I say it's upgradable. I tested the Intel Core Ultra version, and that version was upgradable. Now, the question is, does that translate to the Ryzen version? I would assume so, but I would definitely do your research and wouldn't just take my blanket opinion on this right out of the gate. Just a disclaimer there.
Okay. But looks like yours is quite a bit cheaper than $1,000. So you've got extra, what was it, $700, something like that?
Yeah, so if you look at the Intel version has 16 gigs of RAM at $999. So that's going to put you right at that kind of $1,000 price point. But if you would get the Ryzen version, it comes with 8 gigs. I would upgrade that to, say, like 32. And then there would be kind of that difference of pushing you back up towards that $1,000 price point.
Okay, I see what you mean. Yeah. Okay. So I'll put a poll on my channel. Right now it's 50-50. People are liking this. I get one of those, I will answer one of these comments like, what is the sweet spot of like how much to spend on a laptop, how much is too expensive and how much is too cheap? I think this is a very interesting question, especially around the $700 to $1,000 range, because the laptops, I feel like the sweet spot, I don't know, because I'm not so, I'm a little bit of a new guy with laptops, but it seems like a $1,500 is like a nice sweet spot where you're not getting too ripped off of some high-end specs.
I agree.
And you've got like pretty good options of laptops. If you go below that, sometimes they're charging a little bit too much for like very low-end specs. And then if you go in a little bit higher, then they start charging you like a little bit, too much of certain things. So I feel like $1,500 is nice in there. But at the same time, I'd really consider like the use case of what you're planning to do. If you're looking for just a powerhouse on the go, or you're thinking about just having a laptop that you can answer mostly emails, but you're not doing that much work and you need the battery life or that on the go, then I think that's like a different approach you can go with. And you don't have to spend that much if you don't need the powerhouse on the go. Because I think sometimes people buy a powerhouse, but they never actually use the power on the go. And it's best for them to just go with like a thin and light and buy like a cheap MacBook Air or something like that.
Yeah. So I think there's kind of two ways to slice this. One is that, like you mentioned, if somebody's on the go a lot and they're needing battery life, well, you're not going to get all the performance of the device anyway if you buy a high performance device. So when it comes to Windows laptops, they require power from the charger block to get their full performance, right? The battery power is not going to produce the full performance for the device. It needs to be plugged into the charger. Mac does not face that limitation. So when you buy a Mac, you're going to get all performance all the time, and you're going to get good battery life. And that's where a lot of people have moved towards Apple devices, because you get all performance all the time and you get good battery life. And that's where the new Windows ARM-based chips are trying to move towards. So right now, Ryzen and Intel are still at that not full performance, not all the time, especially with NVIDIA as well. You're not going to get all the GPU performance when you're on battery power. And so that's why I run a setup, which is Apple MacBook Air 15-inch, and then I run a full desktop system. Because then my life, I build my work day around those types of limitations. Best bang for buck, I think Lauri really is spot on, is going to be around the $1,400 to $1,700 range, because you're going to get a good quality screen, you're going to get a good build quality, like usually aluminum materials, and you're going to get pretty solid performance. Say, an HS series processor from Ryzen, or an HX series processor from Ryzen, and then H series from Intel, if you're looking for performance in a device. But then also, if you're looking for thin and light and performance as a digital artist, you're usually going to be able to get good build quality, good screen, good components from that device. And that's usually where the price lands. Like Lauri's saying, if you go up much above, you're going to be on like a Razer Blade, and those are just obnoxiously overpriced.
Yeah. So, Ben, why don't you run a poll on yours as well for the second category right now, while I'm going to answer some of these questions, because I think there's some good ones in here. Right now, the polls are coming in, and looks like, what am I? I'm a blue. Why am I blue? And why are you red? Looks like I am 75% ahead. But this is, I wonder what you guys think about the framework laptops. I haven't tested any. I love the idea of upgradability and the way you can service it and so on. So it's a very DIY laptop. But I'm not sure. I haven't tried it yet, and I haven't had enough interest in it to like get it in to really try it, and I haven't had that many people ask me about it. So I'm kind of on the fence with that. I'm not sure how you feel about the framework laptops, Ben. What are you thinking?
I've never had the opportunity to test one. I love the idea of it being something that you could have for a long time, similar to like a PC build. I love the idea of knowing I love the idea that you understand as an owner and as a user your device, and what works, what doesn't. If a part goes out, you can replace it. I think there's something to say in our generation about our desire for sustainability. So I think people are becoming more thoughtful and less of a throwaway society, slowly, not in droves, but we're slowly looking more towards that. How do we make our devices last longer? And I think Frameworks really provides that opportunity. Mm-hmm. Now, I've never tested one. I'd like to have the opportunity, but I just haven't had the chance.
Okay. So someone is saying the GF63 from MSI. I'm not sure if you tested this laptop, Ben. I got this one up here. It's a little bit over $1,000 right now. It's $1,200. So I think it's a little bit overpriced for what I showed you. You get basically the same specs, but $200 less. Literally, it's still 16 gigs, and the screen is the same.
Yeah,
But
I would say ultimately the best bang for buck at that price range is going to be a Lenovo Legion Pro 5i. They're
$1,000
constantly
you're
in like
talking,
the
or 1,200?
no, in like the 12 to 1400
Okay, we'll
range.
do that in a
Like,
minute. Right now it's
okay,
thousand
okay,
thousand
okay.
dollars. 1,200 comes in a
All
minute,
right.
so then we won't give that too much
Sorry.
away.
All right.
Right. So someone's saying also M1 MacBook Air is feeling outdated. Should I wait for the new M5 MacBook or buy the new M4? Any thoughts? Now,
You should
my
wait for the M8.
yeah, just wait for the M8.
Just keep waiting.
Keep
Just
waiting.
keep waiting. I'm
Um,
totally kidding. No, buy what's available because it's great performance and we've never seen as good a performance.
yeah,
It's the best performance we've ever seen. We've never seen any performance this good.
it's gonna be so great. I mean, this laptop, the M4, Tim, this is not Tampon Tim. This is a different Tim. Tim Cook. He's so good. Have you seen the guy? Um,
He's so sweet. All right,
he's so
moving on.
sweet. Okay, moving on. I think
Yeah.
I'm actually gonna test the M4s. So I'm not sure if you just joined the
Same here.
channel. I've actually ordered the M4 Pro MacBook. Sorry, they're not Mac Minis, so they're coming. They're arriving in 2 days, hopefully. And then I've got M4 Max coming, and then a maxed out M4 Max, which means that I'm gonna test the whole thing out. And I've got the M1 MacBook Air in here. I've got the M3 MacBook Air in here, and hopefully I can borrow some benchmarks from Ben for M2
Yes.
MacBook Air. And then I have the full
Yes.
lineup of what we can do that. Also, I do have the M2 Mac Mini as well, so I guess it's kind of similar, although it throttles a little bit maybe on the MacBook Air. But that's that. Where's my wig, bro? Someone's saying they like my. Where's my wig? I mean, I don't need a wig. This is real hair. I mean, what is this comment? Fake news. It's fake news. It's not a wig. It's real hair.
So you killed me. You killed me. 83% for the Asus TUF.
Okay.
That was kind of a hard category for me because for me it's like, yeah, that was like the best I could find. I couldn't find anything with dedicated GPU under 1,000 that I really liked. I like the so for those watching, I like the MSI Cyborg 14. I absolutely love the Lenovo Legion Slim 14 Gen 8. You can barely find them anymore because for some reason Lenovo hasn't made them again in 2024. I hope they're coming out with something of an equivalent in 2025. It's the Lenovo Legion Slim 14 Ryzen edition, 16 gigs of RAM, RTX 4060. They're a steal, and the performance is insane. The build quality is insane. So if you can find one of those for around 1,000 or less, since Lauri cheated, that would be my vote. If we're going at around $1,000,
Okay,
that is the one that
$1,000. Yeah, we'll do it. I think if it's sub, like if you go over it by less than $199, then you know it's a swing. It's a swing state. Okay, it can be swung a little bit. All right.
Yeah. So that's kind of an updated. But yeah, you killed me on that one. You get a point.
Okay, so point for me. Thank you very much. Next off is 1,200. Okay, I'm gonna put the poll out there. You guys know well, you don't know yet what's coming, but I'm gonna start since you can just send me their link and then I'll get my one out right now. So for 1,200, I've gone a little bit cheeky. So what's going on in here is a MacBook Pro 14-inch M1 Pro. Okay, so this is renewed, which means you still get the warranty of Amazon. Amazon provides you, I think, 1 year of warranty, but I've bought some renewed stuff off Amazon, and I was super impressed. This is $50 less than 1,200. Okay, so it's even like down listed from there, but you can find some killer deals on MacBooks. This one is in excellent condition, which means it will look pretty much new, you know. If you look for good and acceptable, then you can get it even lower here. Look at that. Acceptable is 978, which means it's gonna got some scratches and stuff on. It still works, but I wouldn't go with that one. But for 1,200, I think the M1 Pro is going to be pretty insane for what it can do in terms of productivity, because now we've got 16 gigs of RAM, we've got better GPU, The battery life is going to be insane. And I think for video and photo editing, it still kills. Like, I know Marques Brownlee, for example, still uses his M1 Max chip from like I don't know how long ago was this. So I'm going with this one. I don't know what you've got there for $1,200. I'm going for a MacBook. I can see that there's one link that has come across. Oh,
I've got three coming.
Did I make? Oh my goodness! Is this the Legion? Is that 1,200 as well? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Legion and Galaxy. Oh my word. Okay. Maybe.
I've got these three.
Okay.
So these would be my 3 picks at 1,200. They're all different use cases, right? So we have like the video editor, the artist, and then like the super on the go artist who doesn't need a ton of performance but wants form over form and function. So those would be my 3.
Okay, so
and they're all at or below 1,200.
Talk about the first one first. I'll show you then what this is. So this is that one.
Okay. Hold on. HP Envy. I see somebody said HP Envy X360. That's also a great device, but we'll jump into this. So the Slim 16, like I keep saying, Lenovo does a fantastic job of optimizing performance in these devices. They always pull more performance. They're always going to have a higher maximum graphics power for their GPUs. If you see across the board historically, the maximum graphics power is always 25 to 30% above other brands that use, say, an RTX 4060. It's insane. So you're going to get way more power out of a Legion than you'll get out of other devices. Even, I love Asus, but they cap their devices at like 95 watts for maximum graphics power. Basically, if you don't know what that is, that's how much power the wall charger is going to send through the device and is going to be allowable to reach the GPU, right? So a lot of companies cap it. For instance, Dell in their Genius caps it at like 70 watts on the Dell XPS. And Lauri recently ran a monitor on the device, and he saw that actually only 55 watts came through. So they promised 70 in the NVIDIA settings, but by the time it got into the device and sent power, it was at like 55 maximum graphics power, 55 watts. I say all that to say you're going to get the most bang for buck. They're going to get the most allowable graphics power through the device when it comes to Lenovo's devices, and specifically the Legion series, okay? So that is why all day I would recommend that.
Okay, so you've got Ben's choice on the right, the first one. It is a little bit more expensive than mine, but the specs are pretty good. So this is the Zen 4 Ryzen 5, and 4060, this is most likely going to outperform some of the 4070s on there. I can see some people are saying he's got the Legion 7 Pro 4090 for 2,400 from B&H, 2,500 with 4090. How is that possible? I didn't know you can get a 4090 laptop for 2,500 in B&H. Was it new? So someone wants to know, is there any cons for buying a Lenovo? I tested the Legion 5i laptop, I think, a little while ago, and I was really impressed as well how well it performed. Like the cooling, the performance was like unbelievable, really. So I've got the MacBook Pro versus this one here. I guess depends what people are doing. I wonder if you are a gamer or if you are a creator watching this live right now, because oh my word, Ben, you've got 100% of the votes right now. I don't think people like.
Oh, I've got 100% for the Slim 16. Oops, I typed it wrong. Sorry, y'all. I put 15 instead of 16. Just accept it, my typo. Okay, so the con to buying the Legion, of course, is going to be battery life. Just day over day. Let me see if I can pull up some specs on that. Legion Slim. Hold on. I'm gonna pull up some my benchmark sheet on that. Legion Slim.
I'm gonna talk. This is the second one that you sent me now here as well. So this is the Galaxy Book 4 362 in one. This is less than $1,200. It's $300 off.
Yes. So this will be awesome for the digital artist. It's going to have an OLED display, so it's going to be super color accurate. It's going to have a solid battery life. The really cool thing about this is no matter if you get the Pro 360 or the 360, you're going to get the same amount of performance. It's just going to save you money. That's what's really, really cool about this. It's like pretty clutch because you don't get the 16:10 aspect ratio, but you save like $800 or $900 by buying this device. So it's like an easy hack. You're going to have a 16:9 aspect ratio, which I know some people like don't like that vibe. It's going to be a shorter screen instead of like a taller, more square, like a 3x4. It'll be the kind of the classic 16:9. Well, 3x4. Anyway, I'm over talking. This is a great device because it saves you money, still gives you awesome screen quality, still gives you great efficiency, and it's going to be less money. It's a no-brainer. I love this device because people always go for the Pro 360 when in fact this will get you almost the exact same performance, just a slightly different screen size, and it doesn't have the word Pro attached to it.
Yeah. I really like the Samsung Galaxy Book designs. They're like the MacBooks on Windows.
Yeah.
They really look beautiful, very minimalistic and really nice.
Well, also keep in mind though the resolution is gonna be lower, so you're gonna have I think a 3K display on the Pro. This is just a full HD. So you do trade a little bit on this device compared to the Pro, but I think it's worth the almost $900 in savings.
Okay. I think my M1 Pro is still gonna absolutely slaughter them in terms of battery life.
Oh, absolutely, 100%. Yeah, M1 Pro is gonna Apple's gonna kill it in battery life to performance all day long. That's why like it's not even a conversation. Like either buy an Apple. Like if you want an Apple, just buy an Apple. Like you don't even have to think about it. Like I hate to say that in this day and age that we're in because me and Lauri review so much Windows stuff. Really, if you're trying to buy a laptop, you need to be deciding between Windows devices. If you're thinking I'm going to buy an Apple or I'm going to buy a Windows, you're already on the fence. Like just buy an Apple device. Unless the software that you are looking for doesn't come on native on Apple, then it would lean you back towards Windows. But Apple makes a superior product at a better price point, almost hand over foot. And if in the comment section you want to get super angry, like go for it. I'd love to see the reactions to that statement.
Yeah.
But for me, that's true for me. I mean, I use an Apple device on the go, and it just is a better device. Unless you want Windows because you like Windows, you want certain things because you like certain things on Windows, and the applications run on Windows. It's just Android versus iPhone users, right? It's just nature of we have options. That's the beautiful thing about the day and age we live in.
Yeah. So Ink Blaster is saying, is the M1 MacBook Air still a good buy? Depending how much you're paying for this. I paid, I think, around $400 for mine because I wanted to get one when like the new ones come out just to test on the channel. So for £400, this is like ridiculous buy, right? And I bought this refurbished, but the condition is excellent. But one of the things I have seen Apple do now, and this is like more clear to me now than ever. I kind of knew this, but now testing these Mac Minis right now, I've noticed that Apple basically on purpose makes the base specs almost throttling the device where they're kind of unusable. They now change it with M4 because they're giving like 16 gigabytes as like the minimum standard for free. But like the 8 gigabytes on Apple devices is like low when you're really trying to kind of have Chrome tabs open, work on Lightroom, and like edit some videos at the same time.
Yeah.
If you're doing just like answering emails and just very light stuff, one thing at a time, I'm editing some photos now, it's gonna be okay. But for example, my Mac Minis, I can't even complete the benchmark with 8 gigabytes unless I restart the device, which means it clears its RAM and doesn't have any programs open, and then I run it once, and then the second time it doesn't run it anymore because there's something that is caching on the RAM and it's not enough to run the program anymore, which is just capping so much in there. So I think 16 gigabytes is going to be a nice upgrade, but I think it's M1 is now getting a little bit like lower. Unless you're just doing emails, the battery life is going to be insane on M1 and still worth it. But the rest of the things, I think it's going to fall behind in performance.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Like whenever I go to edit video, like on the go, I shut down all the other applications. That's really like my approach, and it works well. But again, there's not a lot of good multitasking. If I were to go back, I would buy my 15-inch M2 MacBook Air with 16 gigs of RAM. I went ahead and I went for 512 storage instead of 16 because I was looking for a certain price point. I wanted to spend about $1,600 tops on my device. And so that's kind of where I landed. But I kind of wish now that I would have waited a little bit longer, got the device on sale, and got the price that I wanted. But it works. It's just I see some limitations when I'm trying to do my workflow.
Yeah. No, I got the 16 gigs of RAM and 512 storage for the MacBook Air, and it's like it's amazing for 16 gigs. It's really like $400, I think, well spent. But at the same time, I agree with you. I wish I waited a little bit longer because then I could have got kind of like a, well, actually, I think only the base ones go on sale. I don't think the custom ones ever go on sale, do they?
Yeah, customs. Best Buy is where you're going to find the best sales. Shout out, love Best Buy. And it's usually going to be the base models.
Yeah.
Sometimes the 16s will go for the M2 15-inch. Like a few months ago, what was the sale season? It was some sale they were running, maybe back to school, and they were pretty good. Somebody said PowerPoint and simple video editing. Depends on your price point.
So,
but I think
that is for the M1. Yeah. That's the second comment. He said that's what he's going to do. So I think for that, it's going to be fine. It's completely fine.
I think the thing that people don't realize is like the CPU only needs to be so powerful. Like what you need to be really looking at, like for instance, like you could take you could go to Apple's website currently today, in my opinion, and you could take the base model 15-inch MacBook Air M3, okay, and then you could add as much RAM as possible, and that will be for most people a way better device than the new M4 base model.
Yeah. It's just a shame that we can't find these more RAM devices like on sale on Best Buy or on Amazon.
Yes,
because that would be so good to get that deal. You can only find like the base configuration. To me, like storage, the low storage, I can fix it in post. You know, there's all sorts of other storage available that I can do. But like RAM, you really can't. And that's why I bought the M4 Max maxed out RAM, because I really want to see how much are we unleashed when there's 128 gigabytes of RAM on the device, which is, I don't think any Windows devices can even allow that much. I think 96 is maximum.
Yeah.
So it's going to be...
Consider this. MacBook Pro 14 M4 Pro. So I'm going on Best Buy. I'm looking at the MacBook Pro 14 M4 Pro. Okay. My internet's being a little dicey. Okay, so M4 Pro, $22.99, 24 gigs of RAM. I think for most users, you could go onto Apple's website right now, get the 15-inch M3, 24 gigs of unified RAM, 512 storage, $16.99. You're gonna save about $800, and that's gonna be for most people absolutely more than enough power for most people. Like I'm talking, Photoshop, 4K video editing, a little bit of motion graphics, but not a lot. Web browsing, streaming video playback, multitasking. I mean, that would be a beast computer for me editing 6K B-raw footage. This thing would be a powerhouse. I might actually even order one and just sell my MacBook Air or something, because that's insane. $1,700 for 24 gigs of RAM, M3 chip, 512 storage. That's just a stupid good deal.
Yeah. That's very, very good.
Insane. Yeah. Like, I mean, there's just nothing to it. That's awesome.
There was one more, Ben, that you didn't talk about, the option 3, until I give you
the
point.
I already won the point with the Slim 5.
My question for you about this is, why did you go with the Surface Pro instead of the ProAd PZ13? Because they're basically the same device.
Yeah.
And I wonder what the price difference is between them two. Oh, well, there we go.
It's actually a little bit less for the PZ.
Yeah. Why?
So, okay, so I've yet to actually run my full head-to-head review. I just finished editing and sent off my Microsoft review. That one is sponsored by Best Buy, not sponsored by Microsoft, sponsored by Best Buy. So that's a totally super clear, straightforward, unbiased review of this device. And I'm going to do also a head-to-head review of the Surface Pro and the PZ13. You can see I have these two in front of me. Okay. The main reason that I chose the Microsoft Surface Pro over the PZ is going to be this flap. Okay.
Let's see
This
that
makes
bigger.
it a little bit less user friendly. I like the metal fin that just is attached. It makes it more stable. The keyboard is more stable. It also magnets to the screen, and the pen is integrated. So they've just spent more time iterating on this design, and so it's a more refined product. The PZ13, I would say, is 80 to 90% of what the Microsoft Surface Pro is. The extra 10 to 20% is in these little nuances. Magnet screen, embedded pen. When you bend the keyboard deck, it doesn't click. Right? So like I'll bend it here. I'll do this for you right now. So I'll bend the keyboard deck in the middle. Here's my microphone. No click. Okay. I'm going to pick this one up. Hopefully you can hear this.
Yeah.
Can you hear that?
Yeah, I can hear it. Yeah.
So I bend the keyboard and it clicks. So there's just like those little nuances that make the Microsoft Surface Pro, something they've been working on for 11 iterations now, just a little bit better. However, I love this device. I think it's a fantastic device. However, it's a little bit heavier. And one thing that I like about this device more than this device is, although I do like the metal fin on the Microsoft, I then have an issue of, well, how do I keep it from getting scratched? Because with this, the fin itself is the stand, and it's also a protective cover. So it keeps my device from getting scratched.
Yeah.
So there's like, it's like all these little things, you know?
Yeah.
But I think overall, I have to take my hat off to Microsoft. They've been putting a ton of work into this for years now. And there's just a number of things that make it that 10 to 20% of a better device.
Okay. Here's a question though. The trackpad, what I'm seeing from you there, looks a bit smaller than the PZ13.
It is smaller. Yep, it is smaller.
Is it haptic or is it still on a hinge?
Nope. It's full on manual click trackpad.
And what about the pen support? Is it MPP or is it what protocol?
So that's this has been getting fun. Another reason I recommended the Inspiron 16 is it's AES. So it's the it's the same technology Wacom uses. I don't know what the acronym stands for off the top of my head. Microsoft Pen Protocol was obviously developed by Microsoft. And so not all screens are created equally. Okay. So the Z13 reacts differently with the Asus 2.0 pen than the P16 does. Different than the Microsoft does. The Microsoft interacts with the pen as one of the best devices I've ever seen. I mean, watch my review when it comes out. The ability to get smooth, thin to heavy strokes is like nothing I've ever used before. The PZ13 compared to the Minis Forum V3, which will also hopefully be coming out soon. The Minis Forum V3 was actually more pen sensitive and created better strokes than the PZ13. These are all MPP, Microsoft Pen Protocol, but they all have and create a slightly different experience just because of the way the manufacturers produce the devices. And I would say, hands down, the Surface Pro did the best job with the pen. And the Dell Inspiron 14 2-in-1. Those have been the two devices that I've been most impressed with for pen sensitivity.
Very interesting. I didn't know that the MPP has like different, the way it feels is different. And
I think,
did your
think
Minis Forum one actually come with a pen? Did the Minis Forum come with a pen? Or did you use it? Okay,
nope.
You just used
no device that I have tested with pen compatibility has come with a pen. You always had to,
a Microsoft Surface
most
Pro?
of the time. Yep, separate.
Really,
separate.
The pen came
unless
separate?
you buy a package.
Oh, but
keyboard and pen have to come separate.
The PZ13, I think, came with a pen, right?
Am
I missing?
I don't think mine did. I don't think mine did.
did.
I think I used it from another device.
Or was it the P16 that came with a pen?
None, as far as I'm aware. I mean, I get a lot of devices through here. I just grabbed a pen that I had already had from some other time, and then used it with the
Do you know,
PZ.
I can't remember now either.
I know. So anyway,
Okay.
yeah.
So I've given you a point for this one. It was a landslide apparently for creative laptops for that price point. But now it is 1500, sub 1500, okay? And here goes my device. You can send yours across. I'm going to talk about mine first. And surprise, surprise, I've gone with a Lenovo Legion 5i.
Oh yeah.
And this is, I think, pretty insane spec for
Ooh.
1500. So we're getting
That's a good pick. That's very good.
14650 HX. So it's an i7 14th gen. It's quite powerful. So the HX is like one of the more power hungry ones. I'm just typing this. What is it? Lenovo Legion 5i. Or I'm waiting what Ben's coming. And we've got RTX 4070, 32 gigs of RAM, 512 storage. It's insane. I think the RAM is upgradable as well if you wanted to. Am I right, Ben? Is it upgradable?
Yeah, absolutely. RAM and it is going to have two M.2 slots.
Oh, so you can even put the secondary M.2 in there. I mean, this is insane. In terms of, because I tested the 12th gen version of this and I was so impressed. Now the 14th gen is even more refined. The 4070. It's pretty insane. Do you have this device, Ben? I would love to know how this compares with the Asus ProArt P16 because I know it has less RAM.
I actually released my head-to-head review yesterday or Monday, so you can go watch it on my channel right now.
Really? Literally the same thing? Yeah. Okay.
I mean, it's not going to have 32 gigs of RAM. I think my version had 16. Shoot, I almost spilled my coffee everywhere. That's what I get for throwing laptops.
Let's see that.
Right,
did it go all over the laptops?
Nope, no, we're good.
Okay. So I'm gonna go and see where is this review there. Oh, there it is. Look at that, everybody. There is the review.
All right, I'm gonna throw you a curveball here.
Okay, I want to see what is your curveball.
All right, and you know, it's weird. I didn't think I'd be doing this as much as I am in this live stream. All right, so there's that, and then.
Oh wow, that is a curveball. I would not be expecting that.
And I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why in a minute.
Right. Okay. I'm gonna copy this into the links in the description below. If anyone's watching this later, check out the links in the video description.
So those are my two, and it's only because you stole my favorite. That is my favorite. The one that
really?
Already brought up.
Did I go with what you would have gone for?
Yeah, because there's nothing beats it. The maximum graphics power.
No way. I haven't actually tried the device. I just did some research and I was looking for.
Oh yeah, dude. Maximum graphics power is 140 watts. The two that I just sent you, I think are going to be both of them below 95. So you're going to get way more maximum graphics power out of the device. Hand over foot. I don't even know what I'm trying to say. Every single day, it's going to be a better performer. You're going to have an aluminum top cover. You have tons of connectivity. You're going to have upgradable system. It is the best, the absolute best bang for buck device on the market. Nothing beats it. In the past 4 years, I did a 4-year review of this device. It really underperformed. I was pretty sad, but I basically did the Lenovo Legion Pro over 4 years with every single benchmark I've had. It was a beast video. And it hasn't got many views, which I'm surprised because it just really like kind of paints out how the Lenovo Legion has been the best device and just keeps kind of floating above the rest in performance. But my two picks were the M16 from Alienware and the G16 Intel Core Ultra from Asus, because Lauri stole what I would have picked, and I appreciate that for him. You know, he needs the point.
I do need the point. Come on. If you think I've won, please let me know in the points there.
I'm gonna start a poll too.
So I actually added the laptop name as well, so this time it's there. But It looks like the Asus one is slightly over. It's $100 over, but is discounted from $2,000. So it's the Core Ultra 9. I bet it's the 185H option there. It does look good though. It looks very nice, minimalistic. Looks a bit like a MacBook on the sides. You don't have...
And the reason I chose the M16 is it's probably the most like premium of the mid-range gaming devices. It's got like a bunch of little nuances that just make it like a better Pro 5i. Not in performance. It's not going to be a better performer, but I just like the feel and the look of it a little better than the Legion. It has less ports. I just think like it's a more enjoyable device to interact with. It's got some little neat features like around the trackpad glows with RGB. It's just neat. But I would say that the Legion Pro 5i is the better bang for buck, hands down, every day.
Mm-hmm.
I just thought I'd throw a curveball with the Alienware because it is on sale right now. It is a really good device. Dell has great customer service and build quality. But it isn't as much of a customizable device, and it isn't much of as a bang for buck device.
Okay, yeah, because Core Ultra...
Yeah, if you don't win, I'm going to be shocked.
Yeah.
You're winning by 7% on mine right now.
Okay, so I'm winning on mine right now as well. So we're going to keep this for another 30 seconds or so, and then we're going to move on. But if you want to check them out, let's talk about the G16 from Asus.
Yeah.
Why did you choose that one? Because that's not Ultra 9, so in terms of performance, I don't know if that's better than the 14650HX.
So it's going to be better in that it's going to be a little bit more efficient. You're going to cap that one at a maximum graphics power of 95 watts. So it's going to be pretty bottlenecked in comparison to the Legion. And you cannot upgrade the RAM. So again, but it's all about what you're looking for in a device. So let me pull this up. Intel G16. Okay, here we go. So you're going to get about 8 hours of battery life out of that. Almost 9, where for the Legion, you're going to get about 7 to 8. So a little better battery life than the Legion. You're going to have a 2.5K OLED display at 498 nits. So you're going to have a higher resolution, but you're going to have about the same color gamut range. So it's just really what you're looking for. It's going to be a thinner and lighter device. It's going to be much more, on-the-go friendly. It's a bit more of a MacBook Pro vibe compared to like a classic gaming laptop vibe. So it's just a different option for people at about the same price point.
Nice one. So it looks like I got that one. It's 2.2.
Yep.
Let's move on to $2,000. We'll try to do like now. I think. Do you believe that from now on this is a little bit of a higher, I don't know, level of laptop price point? Because like for $2,000, this is like substantially more than 1,500.
Yes.
And do you think you're gonna get better bang for buck in terms of performance, or do you just get more other features?
No. Once you go past the Legion Pro 5i, you're not going to get better performance out of really anything. The Legion Pro 5i, all day, if you get an RTX 4080, it's going to put you at about maybe $1,800. No, RTX 4070 is about $1,800. If you get the RTX 4080, you're most likely going to be in the Lenovo Legion Pro 7i. And so that would be, let's see if I can get a Legion Pro 7i RTX 40. I'm curious what the price point is on this device.
Okay.
Because I'm again going to throw out some different categories. I don't know if I can get a 4080 on Best Buy. I might have to get it on 4080. Okay. Come on. There we go. Legion Pro. Available soon? No, I want it available now.
First world problems.
I know, right? I knew I was saying that. I was like, Lauri's going to dog me for that.
Right. Then I'm going to go with my my option for $2,000, right?
Okay.
For me, create a laptop, $2,000. What would you get? I'm
going to guess you're going to go Oh my word, I did not guess that. Wow, you are like all Apple right now. This is cracking me up.
I am all Apple. I mean, check this out
Gosh,
right
I'm
now.
glad I'm not the shill on
This
this on
is
this.
the 16-inch M1 Max with upgraded 64 gigs of RAM, 1 terabyte SSD, and it is less than $2,000. Refurbished, good condition. I think this is very hard to beat for that. The on-the-go performance is going to be insane because it's 64 gigs of RAM. It's going to be for video and photo editing. I think this is pretty insane. Now, if you do gaming, yeah, it's not going to be as good. But this is this used to be, I think, $4,500 laptop, is it? Or $4,000 laptop for 64 gigs
Oh
of
yeah,
RAM.
for sure. If it's 64 gigs of RAM, yeah, absolutely. Is that an M1? You keep pulling out the
M1
M1s.
Max.
It's kind of Lauri. See, you keep pulling out these M1s. You're so clever.
I was just
The
looking
cleverness
for.
of you.
I just was looking for the Amazon refurbished store, and okay, let's see what because I wanted M2
Is that a
Max.
new one or is that refurbished? That's renewed.
It's
Okay,
renewed.
that's renewed.
So it's you get the warranty with it and all that, but
see, $2,000.
for $2,000, it's pretty insane. I think. For
Okay,
that.
so
okay, is this a,
see you got me heading towards $2,000. That's pretty challenging because I have some other ideas.
Oh,
Because
okay.
most
So
of my
I'll try to
laptops
keep
that I
myself
love-
below $2,000.
Yeah. Surface laptop 2. All right, I have another idea here too. This is interesting. Okay, so first one I'm going to throw out is actually far below $2,000, and I'm going to explain this in a second. So here's what I would pick.
Okay. I'm gonna
but I'm going to explain why I picked this one instead of a different one. And then I'm going to look at this here in a second. Surface Pro. Yep. Okay. So I can find one below $2,000. I don't think.
I haven't tested that one yet.
Yes.
So, if you're wondering what this is, what Ben is talking about, feel free to check it out in the description below. You can see all the links there. My choice, Ben's choice, which one you think is better.
Okay. Oh yeah, I need to put mine up. Okay, so did you put mine up yet?
No. So Asus PX13. Okay. Ben's is PX13. Okay.
Yes. Oh, I have to end this poll before I can start a new one. Okay.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay. So what was yours? Was MacBook Pro.
Yeah, I'm gonna put MacBook Pro M1 Max, 64 gigs.
Okay.
Okay. Right now, people thinking they're going Mac on my channel right now. Okay, if you're watching this live, hit that poll. Okay, are we going Mac or Windows? What's going on?
Okay, so here's my explanation on this. They have an RTX 4060 version available, okay, on this device for $18.99. Okay, I have benchmarked both of these devices. This review has not come out on my channel yet. It's currently with my editor, and the difference between RTX 4060 and RTX 4050 is just about nominal. And so the optimization of the RTX 4050 version with 32 gigs of RAM gets you a device that is of the performance of a, $1,800 to $2,000 device in a $16.99 package. Now, the other device that I would do, I mentioned earlier, and this is also below $2,000, is the MacBook Air with 24 gigs of unified RAM, M3, and that's at $16.99. And that's going to be the newest M3 thin and light device. For me, Lauri's will most likely outperform that, his M1 Max, but I like the thin form factor of the 15-inch device of the Air. So,
okay, yeah, it is thinner than the 16-inch. I'm gonna have them side by side as well to see how much bigger and smaller it is.
Here's the PX. Here's the PX13. The PX13 also has the dial. Some people think it's a gimmick.
All this stack of laptops.
Yeah, I sent a ton back recently, but this is what I have right now. Oh, wait a second. There's another one that I really like that I just realized I have in the stack.
Uh-oh.
Look this up.
Oh no.
This
What's
you
coming
and you.
now?
I think you've reviewed this one.
So
let's see if
no,
let me see the price point on this one. I
it's
can't
this
remember.
one. So Ben was saying the M3 15-inch with upgraded storage to 24 gigabytes. So maxed out RAM unified. You get for 1700.
Okay, this is crazy. This is crazy. Again, I'm kind of falling behind because I should have done this one for my 1200, but I didn't realize it was 1200. I thought it was more. Check this one out.
Someone's saying
This
Mac
is
wins, homie. People are coming on to Mac. Okay, interesting. For a little while
I got
ago,
57% on mine
oh,
for me.
oh no.
What do you have?
I've got 100% on mine.
Oh my goodness.
We'll
Okay,
have to,
what about the Asus ZenBook S16 OLED with the new Ryzen
Oh,
9 and 24
that
gigs
is
of RAM
so
for
thin.
$1,149.
Oh, that is.
This thing gets almost 20 hours of battery life.
That's a MacBook Air killer.
It is.
24 gigs of RAM, 1 terabyte SSD. Oh my word. And it's the Core Ultra. Not Core Ultra, it's the Ryzen AI. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
That device is bonkers for the price point. Now they also have a 32 gig version, but it's not on sale and it's like $16.99 right now. So oh wait, let me pull this out here. Oh my gosh, these things get so heavy as you get them in a stack. It's quite insane. Oh gosh, 5 pounds times whatever this is adds up pretty quickly. Here we go. So there it is right there.
I'm losing some
thin.
votes now. I'm losing votes. Oh no, Ben, this is gonna go for you. At 60-40 now. I'm winning on my channel, but okay. So what is that? What you're holding right now?
So this is the Asus ZenBook S16 OLED. I haven't launched my review of this yet. It's with my editor.
It's got a full size SD card slot on the side.
Yep, full size SD, 2 or 3. Yep, 2 USB-Cs, 1 USB-A HDMI, and SD card reader, and an OLED display. Let me check this. What we're getting on results here for this thing. Okay, so let's see. ZenBook S16 OLED.
Right. The comments right now are saying that well, how many are you still winning on yours?
Yeah, I'm up 77%.
Okay, so you're 77, I'm 60 on mine, so it looks like you're gonna get this one. So
Okay.
I'm gonna have to give it to you.
Okay,
Boom.
so we have
3-2.
about 19 hours of battery life for productivity. We have 100% sRGB, 98% Adobe RGB, 100% DCI-P3 at a delta E of 0.75. So super color accurate.
Oh yeah,
it weighs 3.5 pounds. Yep.
Asus
It weighs.
OLED
Oh no,
is
it weighs
amazing.
3.31 pounds. It has an upgradable storage, so it has one M.2 slot that is upgradable. 32 gigs of RAM, or 24, depending on the model you get. I have the 32 gig version. And the Photoshop benchmark is 6,773. So it actually beats out the PX13 that I just said I really liked, and it's less money. But in video editing, you're gonna have a 24-minute BRAW export time, a 4-minute and 31-second 4K export time, compared to the PX13 at about a 2.5-minute export time. So the lack of dedicated GPU is gonna lose you out on quite a bit of that, 3D modeling or higher resolution video editing or motion graphics. But if you don't need that, this is also pen compatible.
Well, that's the pen doesn't
And it's
come
really
with it,
good
though.
pen
Yeah.
compatibility. And the trackpad's massive.
Oof. Honestly, I think people looking for MacBook Airs for 15-inch, this is a solid competition.
And it's super light. So it's like they call it like, I think it's like a ceramic alloy or something like that.
It's ceraluminum, isn't it?
Okay. Yeah.
Ceraluminum.
Yeah.
So it's like ceramic and aluminum put together. Yeah. Ceraluminum.
Super light. Super light. So yeah, this is my $2,000 one.
Well, I put it on the 1200 because it's a little bit lower.
I know. This is worth $2,000. And you can get it for $1,200. In my opinion. I still need to do some 6K editing to test how well it does if I'm actually using it like my workflow would, because I've yet to find something that could replace my MacBook Air. This might be able to do it. because it has
Okay.
battery and possibly performance. All right, I'm rambling on too much.
No, 2500, Ben. Right now, here's what's coming up for me. This
Okay.
is the Asus
Oh,
ProAd
yep.
P16. Now, it is a little bit higher than 2500, okay? But the thing is, maybe we can find it on a sale, and the 4060 model is lower. But this is, like, I wish you could find a 1 terabyte version of this, because then it should be around the $2500 mark, because you can still have a secondary SSD inside and have extra, storage. But this is, I think, insane laptop for that price point. The Ryzen AI performs really, really well. It's maybe not the ultimate performance for that price point, because I think some of the Intel ones will outperform it. But for a creator, this is one of those laptops that is really, they've changed like the portability. This really is different compared to the previous ProAd StudioBook, because the previous one was so bulky, but now they've got it lighter and pretty much the same performance. And it's amazing how little performance you lose in this one, whether you're on battery or not on battery. And we took this one to IFA and edited all the IFA videos on this one on the go.
Oh, cool.
And it was amazing. I didn't think we were gonna do it, but it really did it, and it was amazing. So for 2500, P16, and what's Ben got? What have you got there?
I've got these two. They're the same device, but Ryzen versus Intel.
Okay, so Lenovo. Is it Legion again?
Yes.
Yeah. Legion 7 Pro. Start the poll. Who's winning? I've gone for Windows as well. Some people are just arguing in my comments, making fun of each other. Who's supposed to go with Windows? Who goes with Apple? I love it. Keep it up, guys. Comment as much as you can. It's good for the likes of the stream. By the way, if you're watching this right now on Ben or on my channel, hit that like button. Okay.
Yes.
It actually makes a difference if you're enjoying this content.
I'm gonna go to the bathroom. Keep it up. I'll be right back.
But Ben's gonna wee himself. Okay. So what we're gonna do is go full screen on Ben's so anyone can see it. No. Okay. So I've gone with the P16 of Asus. Let me see if I got it in here. By the way, has anyone noticed what in-ears I'm using to monitor for this? Oh, it's not clipping anymore. I'm enjoying this a lot more. So I've got the KZ AS24 Pros, and these are amazing sound quality. I know this is not really into like laptops right now, but has anyone used, do you use in-ears, IEMs, or for anything? These guys are absolutely fantastic. The sound quality is unbelievable. Isolation is very good. The whole range is absolutely amazing. But where is this? I have chosen this guy here. ProAd. I know Asus sponsored some like ads on the channel for this ProAd, but I've done all the videos that haven't been sponsored by Asus, and I am absolutely loving this. Now, yes, it is slightly slower in ultimate performance than the previous one, but I think this is one of the best laptops that you can get for $2,500. The screen is just the best, okay? Link the in-ears. Okay, someone's asking for the in-ears. I'm going to try to find them right now, because for the bang for buck, they are absolutely amazing. So I've got my P16 in here. People are asking for the links for my in-ears, because I'm using in-ear monitors for actually monitoring this stream. I think they're like $60 or something like that. Let me see. KZ.
Oh, so nobody wants to know about my like 10-year-old Bose headphones that you can't buy anymore? I love these. These are my wife's from when she was like 16 years old. They broke, and like we got married. It would have been like 7 years later after she bought them. And I just like called Bose, and they like sent me a RMA pair.
Really?
Like a new pair, because they like had broke, and they just sent me a new one. And I love these things. You can't even buy them anymore.
Okay,
I don't
Ben,
like wireless
talk
headphones.
about
Yep.
your options. Anyone
Yeah.
who's asking for the in-ears, I've put them in the top of link of the in the description. You can see IEMs I'm using. They're like $130 or something like that. By the way, if I'll just do 1 minute about IEMs. If you've used any of the Shure or Sennheiser ones, you're going to pay 3-4 times as much, and these are going to blow it out of the water. My brother is quite a big deal sound engineer in Estonia, and he's
Yes, he is.
convinced pretty much all of the band members who he does sound for, they're all using these KZ ones. You can get some of these for like $20, and that will blow like some of the Shure ones out of the water. I don't understand how these can be so cheap and sound so good. If you've used them, you understand, and that's it. The fit wasn't amazing, so I gave them to a drummer friend for his drum kit. Someone is saying used KZ 10 Pros. Yeah, I use them as well. They're pretty good, but it's pretty awesome. So Ben, your laptop option now.
Yeah. Okay, so basically the reason I like this one so much is because you can RTX. As we're moving up in price, my statement was that you're not going to get better performance. However, by choosing the Legion Pro 7i, you will achieve that better performance. Basically, what you do is you take the Pro I quality, you add an aluminum bottom cover to the device for 2024 at least. You get an RTX 4080, you get 32 gigs of RAM, and you get an i9. And you get a color accurate display.
Goodness me.
And you
that
get
is quite a bit better actually. It's 4080.
For some reason the stream is showing like the link for yours. Anyway.
Yeah. I'm
okay.
getting it is man. I'm just showing people can see a little bit behind the scenes what's going on.
Yeah, that's fine. I just didn't know if you knew that. So yeah, the RTX 4080 is going to send you next level for 3D modeling, motion design, for high resolution video editing. Oh gosh, I got a tickle.
Wow, bless you.
And so this is where you can, thank you. You can add, oh my word, it's stuck. You can add performance and quality. Oh my goodness, I gotta drink some water. And this for me is like next level. I got a frog in my throat. Next level performance, by far. And so this is why I'd be my pick, because not only are you gonna get it quality, I can't talk, but you're also gonna get great performance. I love the P16.
You sound like RFK Jr.
I love the P16, but this is where you're gonna get that better performance for the money. So Lauri's would definitely be like the most like user friendly, thin and light. Shut up. User friendly, but mine is gonna give you more performance.
America
so that's
healthy
my
again.
so that's my reasoning for choosing this one. Is it gives you performance and build quality, and it's 175 watts of maximum graphics power. The Pro P16, the P16 is 95 watts. No, wait, I think it's 105. Let me check. So 175 watts of maximum graphics power for the Lenovo Legion. The P16 is 105. And it's an RTX 4080.
Well, in terms of pure performance, I think you are doing one on me, because if you look at the, like you're getting 3900HX, that is definitely going to outperform this Ryzen AI chip.
Yeah.
Because I tried that. That's the same one that is, well, it's actually a little bit lower. That's on the StudioBook previous version, but it's pretty insane. The Ryzen one, I don't know how good this is. I haven't tried this one yet, but the 4 is the Zen 4 Ryzen 9. It's like the top of the range Zen 4 one. It's pretty good. I mean, I would probably go with the Intel one because it is cheaper. You get the same GPU, and you get quick sync if you're working with H.264 or 5 codecs on any of the video editing.
That's why I sent you both Ryzen and Intel.
Yeah.
So you can make your choice.
Make America nerdy again. Someone is saying. No, I love that. So, who's winning this one? Let's have a look at the poll results. So what's yours saying, Ben, over there?
I've got 54% on the Lenovo Legion Pro 7i.
Okay. I've got 62% on the ProAd P16. Now, in all honesty, all performance is going to be better for you. I think my screen is going to be better. My trackpad is going to be better. I mean, 240 hertz. You don't really. It's nice and smooth, but for creators, you want the nice deep blacks on an OLED panel that's very color accurate. I don't know how color accurate the Lenovo Legion is, but maybe you can do the color grading at home after you've worked, somewhere, and then you've got a nice monitor at home. So then that might work. So right now I've got 62% of the votes. What are you on, Ben?
What? 52.
52.
So you win.
So I'm winning this.
Yeah, you won that one.
So 3-3, Ben. We're getting to the high end options now.
This
okay.
is where it actually kind of gets hard.
Okay. This is interesting because I've got two options here. Okay. I've got Windows and I've got a Mac. Okay.
Apple.
Surprise, surprise.
Surprise.
By the way, if you're watching this live, I've got some Macs coming. Do us a favor, hit that like button. It actually helps to pay some of these bills. What's coming, because I've seen some tests or like some leaked benchmarks, and they're absolutely ridiculous. And I wanna find out if I need to close my channel down, and actually, start doing Macs, because it's insane. If that is correct, what I'm seeing there, it is absolutely ridiculous. Okay, so I'm going to go first. I'm going to show the two devices for this. I'm going to end the poll and start a new one as well. So
what's our price point?
The price point is $3,000 now.
Okay.
And where this has gone up in price. What's happening?
Those are my two. So I'll go first, and here's what
$3,000. Sorry.
Yeah.
$3,000 is this one. Sorry, I've got one option.
Oh, wait.
Option.
Is $3,000 our limit? I just messed that up.
It's up to $3,000, and then it's gonna go higher.
Crap.
Okay. So watch this.
Crap.
Watch this. For $3,000, this is the brand spanking new M4 Pro. 14 core, 20 core GPU, 48 gigs of unified memory, 512 gigabyte SSD. SSD storage, okay, we can work around that. The RAM is the one that's quite important. But what some of the leak benchmarks are saying about this is that this is going to outperform the M3 Max. So if that's true, it's crazy, and it's cheaper, and it's more efficient. It's all of the basically previous one. It's got more a higher peak brightness for the screen. All the battery life is going to be better as well. So we're going to see what you can do with this, because this is I don't know. I've got M4 Pro chip coming in, but we'll see how good this is going to be. Right now, I'm pretty impressed with what I'm seeing with the leak benchmarks. If you want to see this, hit that like button. We're gonna check it out. But so that's what I'm gonna be going for. So what about you? What have you seen about the M4 Pro devices?
I have not. We've been really busy with another one of our businesses, so I have not had a chance to dig into benchmarks and stuff. But I have pre-ordered, or I have not yet. I thought I did. I was going to the other day and I didn't. So I'm going to pre-order, and I'm most likely going to pre-order the base model. Is what I most likely will do.
14-inch or 16-inch?
I always do 14s.
Yeah.
16s are just too big for me. Like, I like 15 or 14. Because I like having a small backpack. I don't like having to get a big backpack.
I'm always a 16-inch guy. Like, I'm thinking, if I'm already carrying a laptop, I might as well go 16-inch, because it's just gonna be better. Okay. So this is $3,000 option. Off we go. Do you know what? I'm gonna do my $5,000 options as well here. So we'll do all the high end ones now together. Okay. So you can pull the 4. So what did I put there again? So there is 3, 4, 5, and 100 grand choice. Okay, I'm going to tell you all of them in one go, so you can get yours up. Where are we? So this one. Oh no, that's the wrong one. So firstly, the 3 grand option, I had my M4 Pro. Okay, then in terms of 4 grand options, I do have 2 actually. Okay, so one of them is the Asus ROG Strix Scar laptop. Have you used that one before, Ben? Strix Scar with RTX 4090?
Yes, I have. It's very powerful.
Righty. And it is...
Oh, I forgot to add yours. Crap. Don't ignore that poll. Ignore that poll. All right. Dang it, I gotta retype all this. Okay.
Okay, so here's mine, all of them live now. So for 3 grand, I think the M4 Pro is going to be pretty insane. I think at that point, you're spending quite a lot of money and you want something solid on the go. And if you're not a 3D creator, then, you know, this is a solid option for you. I think video, photo, there's not going to be anything better for pretty much 3 grand. The usability, battery life is going to be absolutely insane. Can pretty much replace your workstation at home. Then for 4 grand, I went with 2 options. One of them Mac, which is going to be like the M4 Max with, I think, 64 gigs of RAM there. Is it 64? No, 48. So it's the base model, 16-inch, 4 grand. But also for Windows, you can get for 3.5 grand this ROG Strix Scar, which is RTX 4090. Okay, beast at all the 3D rendering and stuff you're doing. Then we've got the i9 4900HX, which is going to be the most powerful Intel chip right now out there. The Core Ultra isn't going to be very much better. Well, it isn't better right now. 32 gigs of RAM. That is going to be SODIMM 5600, which means you can upgrade it to 96. So this is for the extra couple of $100. Upgrade this to 96 gigs of RAM, and you got an insane workstation like on the go. The thing is, I recently did a video. It's coming out tomorrow. Just stick around for that one. I found a video of Jake Paul's behind the scenes studio, like how he was showing like his editors. And I noticed one of the editors was using this laptop. So I found this laptop and I thought that is actually a really good idea. If you need to be anywhere, different places, just plug in the kind of screens. You get a workstation really with me. The sad thing is, why hasn't Asus ProArt done like a proper workstation version of like high-end, insane kind of a laptop with these specs with 4090? They're always capping at 4070. So this 4090 has dual encoders, dual media engines inside, plus you get the quick sync. I think it's insane. And then when we're talking about 100 grand, all you want to do is go to the M4 Max chip and just check out everything max, and then see you later. You've spent about 7-8 grand. I think ultimate one, we're gonna go back to back. So what do people think now? Let me know what you think in the comments. I'm gonna let you now, Ben, take over while I set my poll, the last one here, because that's the one that counts. Okay.
Yeah. So basically, I have chosen the ThinkPad P16 for 3D modelers because this is one of the laptops on Lenovo's website where you can get the ADA or the RTX A series GPUs, which are workstation GPUs, which are approved for SolidWorks. Okay, so if you get GeForce or Radeon, those are not approved SolidWorks GPUs, and therefore you do not get support from SolidWorks. So for instance, like let's say you're struggling with their program and they say, okay, what's your specs? And you say, well, I have a GeForce RTX 4090. They're not going to give you support. You need to have a certified workstation GPU to get support from their team. So that's where I think ThinkPad is a really great commercial use. Let's say you're a professional 3D modeling or architecture person who needs that support from the software. The ThinkPad is going to be one of the best built and going to have the most customizable options. You can get an A2000, an A4000. You're going to get either Intel Core Ultra or you can get the Intel H series from Gen 2. And so that's a really good quality laptop with great customization. If you're looking for a thin and light device with an RTX 4090, the Asus Zephyrus G16 is great. I would definitely get it with 32 gigs of RAM. It's going to be a thin and light device that has crazy performance. So that's why I chose that one. If you're a digital artist looking for something super art focused, then the Microsoft Surface Laptop 2 is a great pick. So, it's kind of hard like getting into this budget because now you also have like the Razer blades. Those are really expensive too. And they have like really neat build quality, but are they overpriced? I think they are, especially in kind of today's age with all how well priced the Macs are, how well priced these new Asus ProArt Studio books, new Asus ProArt P series laptops are. Even the G14 and the G16, they are much more Razer blade competitors than they've ever been in the past. And so Razer is really kind of starting to miss out on their market segment that they owned for quite a while. For at least 5 years, they had a really strong corner on the premium Windows sector. So right now, the Zephyrus G16 is winning on my end at 50%. What are things looking like on your end?
I am at 60% right now. So the question is now ultimate laptop. Like no budget, Ben, right? You've got to buy one for yourself. And I know there's different needs, whether you're an artist, whether you are video editing or creator on the go. If someone said, look, we're just going to pay you whatever laptop you want to buy, I just go and buy the MacBook Pro 16-inch, all maxed out, like $7,000 or something like that. What would you get?
So let's do a little bit better. I'm gonna turn the question back on you because that's a good thought, but it's kind of unrealistic because that doesn't really help people on a budget. Let's say you're offered $3,000. No. Let's say you've got to be under $3,000. Now what do you do?
Under $3,000 for me. I think I'd go with one of my options. I think which was the M2 Max 16-inch MacBook Pro, and I think I can get that under $3,000 for refurbished for pretty good price point. But then there is the risk of not being new. So I'd go with a 16-inch M4 Pro option. That's what I would do.
Okay. So for me, I have to really consider my workflow in this conversation. If I was given $3,000 and I wanted to take the plunge and switch over to Apple, I have to consider how I still operate my workflow as it exists today. And my workflow, if I want to replace my desktop system, I have to be able to patch in multiple cameras to do my studio, right? So I would have to aim for a Apple MacBook that's around the $2,000 price point because I'm going to have to buy, say, a Rode Videocaster. Because right now, my whole system has like a Blackmagic capture card. I have multiple monitors, right? So for me, it's kind of hard to say I could switch to Apple right now and replace everything.
That's a good point. I'm thinking.
So that's why, yeah.
I'm thinking, like get some kind of dock with it, and then just hopefully put the MacBook here. Still use all of the screens, because I already have the A10 Mini Pro. I could probably connect that to my MacBook if I have the dock and enough dongles. I'm streaming this live on this. You can see it a little bit on the edge and here, people. This is the YOLO Box Live. It's a great device as well for live streaming. For example, one of the things that's happened during this live stream is my PC that I'm looking at here has actually disconnected from the internet like 3-4 times, but because I'm running direct internet onto this YOLO box and that is streaming to their service and there to both of the channels, I've got no issues with no dropped frames. There's been 0 dropped frames throughout the stream. That's been 1 hour and 50 minutes. It's running all on battery power. I've got 61% left here right now, which is very interesting, like an option. Anyway, back to the laptops. I think the last time when I tried the 16-inch M3 Max, I was just so impressed with the performance of video editing for my workflow. And that's why I'm thinking I need to try these new ones, and that's what I would go for. I haven't had the chance to try some of the high-end Windows laptops that you're talking about, what you linked there. So
Yep.
I don't know what I'm choosing over these.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm. But I guess if you're a graphic designer, you're probably, I don't know what you're gonna do. The Apple doesn't offer any, I think, pen support. You'd probably have to do
Yeah.
an iPad
Yeah.
then somehow, or because iPad can be your
Correct.
secondary screen.
Yeah, so think about this. Like if you want to be a Windows user, you could go for the Microsoft Surface Laptop 2. That's either just below or just over $3,000. Okay. However, you could go ahead and take the $1,700 pick that I had here and also buy an iPad. You know, you could get the M3 15-inch for $1,799, buy an iPad for another $600, like a really nice one, and you're actually in it less money than getting the Microsoft Surface Laptop 2.
That's
So now it's not all in one, but that also could second as a dual screen.
Yeah.
For your Apple.
Now,
so Apple's done really well pricing their products at a reasonable price point for great performance. So if I had all the money in the world, I would buy the maxed out Apple. If I had around $3,000, I would probably go with a Legion Pro 7i. Or I would go for if I was like a 3D modeler.
Yeah.
If I was a video editor and designer, I would go for the M4 Pro 14-inch, around like below $2,000. If I was a digital artist, I would either go for if I wanted Microsoft, the Surface laptop, or the Microsoft Surface Pro 11 tablet PC, or I would go for my M4 pick, my M3 15-inch pick with an iPad. That's kind of how it tumbles down in my mind.
Interesting. Now, to put another wrench in this works.
Yeah.
Let's say, because I feel some people just think that there's no point in like buying a tower anymore. I'll just get a laptop that I can get on the go and kind of try to get away with maybe like a high-end gaming laptop to do both like on the go. What I would like, I don't see the sense of that unless you really need, like, let's say you're traveling between locations as a creator and you really need to just get the best performance and video graphics and CPU power. You plug it in and maybe you can use the hotel TV as a secondary screen or something like that. But to me, like, I'd really think about why not spend like $2,000 on a PC and you can get a ridiculous PC. You know, shameless plug here, links in the description below, the best bang for buck creator PC if you want to build that. But then get like a $1,000 thin and light, like the ZenBook 16S that you were showing there with the Ryzen AI. And I think they've got one with Lunar Lake coming out as well, which is insane battery life. Now, that is just absolutely ridiculous. So, you know, that's what would you go with that, or what would you do?
Would I go with would I go with a PC build and I think I like my setup. I think I like my PC build. So I'm running right now an RTX 3050 for 6K video editing, a Ryzen 3900X, 64 gigs of RAM, and then like a bunch of hard drives hooked up to it. Like I have like a stack hard drive. I'm always plugging in Kingston XS 2000s and 1000s for like my editing drives. I love a PC build because you can just keep plugging stuff into it.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
It does everything. Like, yeah, it's insane. I could not plug into a laptop everything I have plugged into my PC build. Yeah. And it just cooks. So it just cooks right along. Just no big deal. And I don't even have a powerful GPU.
And I think both of us actually are a great example of, we can use a thin and light laptop on the go, because I'm doing a lot of things, a lot of email answering on the laptop, but then actually all my video editing and things get done like on these big screens. So this is the end now, final results.
So I got 61% for the G14, and then 9% for the Surface Pro 2 and 4% for the ThinkPad. You scored 23% for your Strix RTX and MacBook Pro on my end.
I got 67 on mine, so it looks like
looks like you
Ben's the winner, isn't it? Like
I don't know.
Because like if you add
guess,
yours
yeah.
together and then
That's
from mine
true.
together, it's gonna be
That's
more.
true. All right, fair enough.
So as you can see, the Laptop King remains Laptop King. We'll see what's going on. But if you enjoy this conversation, we'd love to know what you think in the comment section below, or feel free to reach out on any of the other videos. Drop a comment. We'd love to hear what you think. Check out Ben's channel. Ben's got so much more in-depth laptop videos about this one. I think this is an interesting, eye-opening conversation. Getting interested in different budget for laptops. And yeah, let me know what you think. Ben, do you want to have some last little words?
Do you want to have like some Q&A time for anybody who's still here? We've gotten a lot of questions throughout the video, but if anybody's still here, would you want to maybe jump in and answer some of those questions? They can repost them, or do you have to go?
I'm gonna have to run to get my my son to a band practice. So
okay.
So
then we can run for now. We'll do this another time.
Yeah. We'll do a Q&A maybe another time. I've got some devices coming, so maybe when you've got yours as well, we can do another Q&A and live things. Feel free to reach out and we can put some questions together.
You guys have been awesome. Lauri, it's been great. And everybody, I hope you got some value here. And we will see you guys in the next one. Hopefully we'll do another live stream soon. It's been a while, and it was a really good time.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Bless you guys, and we'll see you soon.
Later.